Hello. Welcome back to the Get You Some Podcast. It is nice to see you again. I'm sorry it's been so goddamn long. This last semester has been kicking my ass. But I'm nearing the end of my program, and I can see the light at the end of the anus. Try to relax your anus. Basketball is huge in my town right now since the Kings made it further than they have in many years. Since the Lakers rubbed their schnitzes on them back in the early 2000s. My group chat is lit with Kings fans and one lonely Laker fan, and my teammate Kevin, the only Warriors fan. Me, I just enjoy the anguish as they watch their souls crush and they leave any dream of the Kings making it to the finals. Because I'm kind of a grade A piece of shit. Today's training topic is one that means a lot to me, not just as an athlete, but as a trainer. Now, many of you know that before I specialized in training other athletes, once upon a time... Oh, shut up, bitch. Once upon a time, I also trained casuals. When I was the general manager and fitness director for Anytime Fitness, I do not miss that. Training regular people can quite often be an exercise in futility. See what I did there? So many people lack the discipline to do what is necessary to achieve their goals. And no field is that more prevalent than as a personal trainer, which I've come to affectionately refer to as a bargain bin therapist. Because some people just want a babysitter / someone to vent to, but we definitely don't make as much as therapists. I feel for my fellow trainers. In fact, every time I see one of my favorite trainers at the gym, she's being stood up by a client or an onboard. I mean, yeah, you get paid for it, but that's not really the point. Imagine every day working on a program and putting meticulous work into something just for them to disregard it. And on top of that, you get to hear them bitch and whine about how they never make their goals, but they want their summer bodies so goddamn bad. Well, reality check, bitches. You only get what you give in the world of fitness. Every time you see someone with the body you want, I want you to check your jealousy and check yourself. That person earned it. Oh, they're on trend, bro. They're on Deca. They're not natty. SARMs, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, they earned it. They put their bodies through it to get there. And if they are using a lot of that shit, whether they use it right or not, there's going to be a price to pay for it. But that's for them, not for you. I'm not on the whole Andrew Tate bandwagon, yada yada. But I did remember something he said about what it takes and what it means to get the body you want. It's not easy. And it's not supposed to be easy. If it were, it wouldn't mean anything, because everyone else would have it. It's because it is difficult to achieve that it means so much. Which brings me to the main point. Sincere versus superficial reasons for training. Before I take on any clients, I give them a small task. Give me a list of 10 reasons why you want what you want, before I even attempt to help you reach it. If you write down, hey, I want to lose weight, I want to get in shape for summer, I will ball that fucking paper up and throw it at you, and then kick you out of my office for littering. My training is difficult because I want you to succeed, and the only way for you to get stronger is to put yourself through hell, so that your body may force itself to acquire the strength to survive another day. When you exercise, the next time that you train, I want you to think of your body like an understaffed retail store on Black Friday. You go through hell and you barely survive the rush. And you realize you can't handle that again unless you hire more staff. Well, a good training program is just like that grocery store. And the bigger, stronger muscle fibers that you develop are like hiring additional staff. As you grow and show your body's inadequacies, it keeps up by adding the necessary assets. As long as you live, your body will continue to try to adapt to what you put it through. If it can't, you'll probably know when that happens, because you'll be dead. But seriously, that is how it works. Oversimplified, of course. When you train with me, or train with any good program, you will find yourself struggling. Struggling to continue, struggling to finish. Hell, I admit some days I struggle just to get my ass to training. It is when that happens that you must call upon the strength to persevere. And what better strength than the 10 reasons why you started in the first place? These reasons are the shovel that you will use to dig yourself out of apathy. Ooh, write that down. So like a good shovel should be made of quality material, so must be your reasons. So summer bod, lose weight, head ass, that shit ain't gonna fly. I had a client that said, I love to clap my wife's cheeks, and we have a huge mirror in our bedroom. And I hate looking at myself because I get self-conscious, and as a result, my soldiers stop standing at attention. Figure that out. That is a fucking reason. Because who doesn't want to look like an absolute fucking unit when they're slanging that motherfucker? One client waited in line at Universal Studios for 4 hours. And when they finally got on the ride, the fucking safety belt wouldn't fit. And they were humiliated in front of the entire group of strangers. This is the shit I'm talking about. That's a legit fucking reason. Imagine that shit. I'd be fucking... Actually, I kind of know what that's like. One of my reasons... I was in track and field in high school. I was a competitor in 100-meter dash and 100-meter hurdle. And I was fast as fuck, boy! Now, as an adult... I can't even run on the goddamn treadmill. And now, I have dreams of what it was like to be able to fly. And it's kind of sad to hear people complain about running when I can't even do that right now. But this is not me bitching. You won't hear me complain about that. I train my ass off and I am determined to get there again. That is one of my reasons. And mark my words, if you keep tuning into my podcast, there will come a day where I will tell you, I'll post the footage. I'll be sprinting again. And I'm going to be fast AF. Ooh. Besides, when the zombies comes, I'm not trying to be free eats. So, fuck your superficial reasons for training. Find the truth behind why you want what you want, and use that to push forward when you want to quit. Can I get an amen? Y'all better listen to him. Which brings us to our first sponsor. Ooh. The Get You Some podcast is brought to you by AMF. Go down to your nearest bar and order 5 of these motherfuckers and watch all of your trials and tribulations go away, as well as your dignity. Go ahead, find out why they call it adios, motherfucker. And we're back with the musical segment, which obviously, thanks to YouTube's ridiculous copyright algorithms, we're not going to be actually playing it for you. It'll be linked in the description below. Dear Zex, What kind of music do you listen to when you fuck? Well, I have an entire playlist, buddy. It's called Smasheroni. God is a Woman by Ariana Grande. It'll help you keep your rhythm, and it is magnificent when it comes to counting out your strokes. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, that brings us to the heavy shit.
Now this is some heavy shit.
Today's mental health topic is being overly sensitive. Now, being sensitive and overly sensitive are far from the same thing. This music's too fucking loud. Okay, that's better. Where was I? Because we have a stigma on being sensitive, they get misconstrued as one and the same. But that is not true. Being sensitive means to be quick to detect slight changes or subtle behaviors. To be sensitive is to be aware of yourself and others around you. This is not the same as being overly sensitive, which is what most people think of. Being overly sensitive is to be excessively and easily upset. Fun fact, if you're a fan of my podcast, you're probably not overly sensitive, as I have a tendency to piss off and deeply upset the kind that are. Now, I am going to try to be nice in this topic, but I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings right now. But, no promises, because I hurt feelings every fucking day. If you find yourself constantly thinking about what others perceive of you, to a point where you can't even function in society, you may have overly sensitive and self-conscious behaviors. Now, to a degree, we all do. In order to survive in society and to be accepted, you have to behave in a way that adapts to your surroundings. But there is a point where you start to sacrifice individuality. Remember, it is okay to be different. You have to learn to appreciate your individualism. It is the thing that makes you who you are. But when you become a people pleaser, you may think you're being nice, but really, you're being weak. And the person you are betraying most is yourself. I will always try my best to be polite to those around me, even if they don't necessarily give the same efforts towards me. As I always say, you have control over your behavior, even if you can't control the behaviors of those around you. Let their transgressions reflect them, not you. However, I also choose to hold people accountable for their behaviors, so in est, I will be polite. But if you come at me disrespectfully, or in a way that I presume to be disrespectful, especially when I show you respect, you will see the consequences of what comes next. I have never shied away from calling people out, and I don't give a fiddler's fuck who's watching, because I would not come at you unless you brought that shit first. There is a saying, treat me well, I'll treat you better. Treat me bad, I'll treat you worse. Now why am I like this? I'll tell you. Tangent time. My childhood was spent with many days of me tolerating bullying and, honestly, outright racism. Being the only Asian family in a predominantly white town, I got my ass kicked a lot. The irony is, it wasn't always the white people. They stared at me, they fought me, they jumped the shit out of me, and said shit to me that other people should never say. Their parents told them not to play with me because they said that I had SARS. And I was so young and naive, I didn't even know what the fuck that shit meant. Now, I wish I had been mature enough to appreciate what I just told you to do and let their actions simply reflect their ignorance. But I was just a little kid. I had no friends, no one to help me understand. And all I learned was simply how to hate them. And I carried this hatred for most of my adult life. The day that I freed myself from this hatred was the day I promised myself never to let anyone disrespect me ever again. And fun fact, people still do. Not to my face, anyway. But ironically, the ones who think they get away scot-free is usually women. And that's not meant to be a sexist remark, but you see, men have an inherent knowledge that if they act a certain way and step over certain boundaries, they may be held accountable, and as a consequence, may find themselves with less teeth. And social media has changed the way that we perceive reality, and to the great Mike Tyson's words, it has allowed a lot of people to say stupid shit without getting their asses kicked. Now, I'm not saying you have to get your ass kicked to act right, but I also know that most of the people that I've found to be disrespectful have never been punched in the face before. I'm getting off topic. I say topic. Ooh. So, sensitivity. If you're paying attention, you can see that my childhood did not allow for me to be sensitive. And though I tried to be aware of the plight of today's youth, I have trouble comprehending it, because in my day, bullies whooped your ass. So I think it boils down to the purpose and intention of people's words. I have tried to help people in the past, but when they are overly sensitive, they tend to be too defensive to hear what I'm trying to say. And no matter how much I try to help them and give them honest feedback, the feedback that they require to improve their behaviors, all they see is an attack, and they lose the ability to listen. And to this I say, cut that shit out. If someone cares about you enough to try to help you, if they're your friend, at least try to listen to what they have to say, and stop taking offense to every fucking word. I'm okay with people being honest. My closest friends say shit to me that sometimes is outright hurtful, but I do not misconstrue it as disrespect. If you call me a fat bitch unprovoked, yeah, I might dislocate your fingers. But if you're telling me that I treated someone unfairly and that I was a real asshole about it, those are not the same thing. What's the difference? Well, the first one was an insult meant to provoke an emotional response. And the truth is, now that I'm older, maybe I wouldn't break your fingers. I'd probably just ignore it. But the other statement is probably a deserved criticism, meant to make me aware and to help me check my behavior. My biggest problem in life today is that because of my reputation, frankly, because of my face, my stature, people no longer tell me the truth. Because their pussies won't allow them to. I'm kidding. But seriously, you have no idea how many people simply won't tell me the truth anymore. And even fewer admit that they're afraid. And I fucking hate that. That's why I only surround myself with people brave enough and who care enough about me to just tell me the goddamn truth. You can be brutally honest with me while still being respectful. It all boils down to delivery and intent. People don't even talk anymore. So to you overly sensitive types, I hope that you see and learn the strength required for you to live a good life. Because no matter what you do, I promise you, someone will hate you for it. You will never please everyone. But that doesn't mean you have to stop being you. God, if all it takes is words to hurt you, you sure are lucky to live in a world where that is possible. Everyone says that America is going to shit, but try living in a country where words aren't as free as they are here. Try living in a country where your words get you killed. You choose to be sensitive. You choose to be hurt by opinions of people who don't matter. Here's my advice. Be wary of taking criticism from anybody who doesn't have to live with the consequences of your actions. My friends, my real friends, back me up. They suffer when I make poor decisions. And that's why their opinions matter. That's why when they speak, even if it hurts me, I listen. I will listen to what they have to say, because they wouldn't waste their time if they didn't care. You have one life to live, and time is the most precious commodity. Please, stop wasting it on the opinions of those who don't fucking matter. TLDR. Stop being a little bitch and go out there and get you some.